Hello there. Now, today's 13.3 video, and today's cool in a sense where we're going to take what we've been learning the last 2 days and combine it with something we already know. And it's actually quite simple. So, for instance, I'm going to tell you to plot the point -3, 4, and using that, find your coterminal angle and set up all 6 trig functions. Alright, so let me show you what I mean. So we make our xy coordinate, and think of it, if you were to graph -3, 4, you go left 3, up 4. Be like right there. So what that is, that's going to be my terminal ray. Alright, and we're always going to drop a 90 in altitude to the x-axis. Alright, again, because we're focused on this coterminal angle right here, we're going to call theta. Now, we know the distance from here to here is -3 units, and the distance from here to here is 4 units. Alright, so we could do Pythagorean theorem to find the hypotenuse. You should know 3, 4, 5. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. If you didn't know it, if it wasn't that simple, you would set up the Pythagorean theorem, get your radical. Now, what we do with this is now we're going to set up all 6 of our trig functions. So we have sine of theta, cosine of theta, tangent of theta, cosecant of theta, secant of theta, and cotangent of theta. So sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, so 4 over 5. We know cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. The cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so -3 over 5. We know the secant of that is the reciprocal, so -5/3. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, so -4/3. And then the cotangent is the reciprocal of that, so -3/4. Now, with any one of these ratios, we could find what theta was. Okay, we just go second sine, 4 over 5. Second cosine, -3 over 5. So on and so forth. So we're going to set up all 6 trigs, all right, for that coterminal angle of that coordinate. All right, let's try another one. So again, the 6 trigs is already something we've been doing in finding Pythagorean theorem. The only new part is I'm now giving you a coordinate to determine that. So now we're going to look at -4, -8. So let's draw our xy axis. Yeah. Alright, so -4, -8. We're -4 units this way, -8 units down. There's my coterminal ray. And remember, we're always going perpendicular to the x-axis. Always to the x-axis. Alright, here's my theta. I know this is -4 units, and then I went 8 units down. -4 is my x, -8 is my y. We need to find my hypotenuse. So -4 squared plus -8 squared equals, let's say, x squared, or h squared for hypotenuse, whatever you choose to use. So 16 plus 64 is 80. Square root of 80. Break it down because we want exact answers. Exact means no decimals. So we have 4 and 2, 5 and 2, 2 and 2. So I have a pair of 2's here, pair of 2's here. So 4 root 5 is my hypotenuse. All right, now we're going to set up our 6 trigs. So sine of theta, okay, we get opposite over hypotenuse. So -8 over 4 root 5. Well, I can't have a square root in the basement, so I need to rationalize root 5 over root 5. So I get -8 root 5 over 20, which simplifies to -2 root 5 over 5. All right, I have the cosine of theta. which is adjacent over hypotenuse. Again, we're always theta is the angle I'm focused on. So I get negative 4 over 4 root 5. When I rationalize there and simplify, my 4's are going to go, so I get root 5 over 5. Actually, negative root 5 over 5. And then my tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent, and that's just positive 2. Now let's look at cosecant of theta is the reciprocal of that. So I get 5 over negative 2 root 5. Rationalize. Now, you can use this one, or you could actually use this one also. Okay, either one is fine. Let's just use that one for the sake of it. Let's go 4 root 5 over negative 8. And then reduce to negative root 5 over 2. Now, why did I use that one? Aha, because if I flip this one, if I take the reciprocal of that one, I have to rationalize again. If I take the reciprocal of this one, I don't have to rationalize because now my square root's on top. And these are equivalent expressions. They're equivalent values, so we can do that. All right, little trick. So now we have secant of theta. Again, why use this noise? As soon as we take the reciprocal of that, I'm going to have to rationalize again. If I take the reciprocal of the original, I pop my square root on top, and I get 4 root 5 over 4, and that's negative. So I get negative root 5. And then cotangent is pretty simple. So negative 4 over negative 8, which is positive 1/2. All right, so again, we're given a coordinate. All right, plot your point, draw your coterminal ray, and drop of altitude to your x-axis. Our theta is my coterminal angle. Set up all 6 trigs, and if we really wanted to know the angle, we could go find it. All right, and this is kind of just connecting the stuff we've already done, and we'll take it a step further as we move forward. All right, I want you to try one on your own. I want everyone to do 5, negative 3, and have that ready for class tomorrow. We'll start there with questions. All right, thanks. Have a good night.